Hey everybody, Paul Mack here. Just wanted to show you a few things that I got at the auction. Man, I was excited about this. I love these old, look here, Zebcos. Reels for fishing reels, Zebcos. Now this one is from the 70s. It's got that gold and black stripe on it. It's a little more modern. This is from when I was probably 7, 8 years old running around. But these are from about the time I was a toddler, infant, baby, These Zebcos are a little bit older, not as old as they come, but probably about 69, 70, somewhere in there. And if you take them apart, you will see not brass gears in there, but usually steel gears in there. But these are still a classic. These were made to last your lifetime. I've spoken about these before on the what I got at the auction shows, but I can't resist buying these when I see them, especially when they're a decent price, because they're so easy to refurbish, to oil up, and even if you got little problems with them, they're easy to fix and repair and get going again. But these are just great little reels for fishing. Zebco 33. Did I mention that? Zebco 33. Hey, we got another tackle box. This one's a small one. Oh, look what's in it. 3 fly reels. Look at that. Couple of them still have the boxes. Look at that. This one's a Martin from the Martin Reel Company. It's kind of an old one, and this one is a Martin as well. So fly reel for fly fishing. It's got the little trigger on it, the retrieve trigger. You just depress that and it pulls the line right back in. You don't even have to wind it up like with a normal fly reel. Now this one is your typical fly reel that you do actually wind up like a normal reel. But it's got the original box there, which is kind of neat. But let us not forget the little tackle box. These, I think I had one pretty similar to this when I was a kid. Had the little tray on top for your hooks and your sinkers. And then you can keep your, needle nose pliers or a knife down in the bottom. These are just real handy. And you know why I like them? Ow! Because they're metal. Today they're just all plastic, and I'm not into plastic. I want the real thing. I want metal, especially a nice blue one like this. So, in fact, it has some writing there in the top. It says K. Betts. I bet his name was Carl. What do you want to bet? Or Kevin. I bet it was Kevin. Kevin Betts, Route 1, Box 75A. I shouldn't be given his address. I think it's Missouri. And there's his phone number, and he's got a little sticker of an Indian. Don't you know this belonged to a little boy or a little girl? I guess. Could be Kristen. Anyway, Mr. and Mrs. Bates, which you're probably my age, I've got your tackle box waiting for you for a price. Oh, wait till you see this.
Oh! Ow! Oh, this is heavy.
Oh, looky here. Now, these are hard to come by, and I love them so much. It's the old grinding stones that, you see them on cartoons that when the farmer's getting ready to slaughter the turkey and the turkey's running away because he's sharpening his axe on the old grinding stone, which, by the way, this is a great way to sharpen axes or hatchets, even scythe blades. I've shown you before that you can actually make a jig that attaches to the post, a fence post, or in my case, the post in the middle of my workshop. And you can run that jig, you can put a scythe blade on that jig and actually keep your bevel just right. So I love these old grinding stones. Look like this one's still got some green moss on it. It's been sitting out in the shade. It's still got the hardware on it from, actually, this, you can tell these two handles here, this was actually sitting on a stand that you probably had a seat on. I've got one that I need to fix up sometime. It would have a seat, you would sit on the seat, and you could have 2 pedals. You could pedal with both feet and operate this thing, and your hands were free to sharpen the hatchet or whatever. So it's still got the hardware on it, but let me tell you, it's been sitting outside for, looks like, 50 years. That thing is so locked up. It would take a lot of PB blaster to get that thing moving again. I guess it could be done. Or better yet, just get some PB blaster in there, loosen those bolts, take it off, and make your own hardware for it. But you say, but Gary, this has a crack in it. Do you see that? Yes, it does. It has a major crack in it. But you know what I thought when I got this? Actually, there were 3 of them there. 2 of them were in really good shape, but they were a lot smaller. And we were bidding on the whole lot, and the bidding was going up. I didn't see who I was bidding against. Turned out I was bidding against a friend of mine, and so when she saw it was me, and I was bidding, she said, just, you know, I'll give you one. Just leave me alone. Let me buy the things. And I said, okay. So I backed off and I let her buy them. And she said, which one do you want? And I said, well, actually, I'll take the broken one, because I thought, you know what, this is a good example of how you could still, even though it's broken, you could still use a broken one. Even if it came apart in pieces, you would be able to set this on a bench or a table or even on the ground and still sharpen your hatchet blade or your axe blade just by rubbing it on the side here. And who knows, I mean, you could put it back on a stand and turn it, and you know, the crack might not make a difference, but then, you know, you never know. These things don't run at a high RPM. It's like, what, I don't know how many revolutions per minute, 50, 60, something like that. That's not a lot, maybe less, 30 or 40. Anyway, these are hard to find nowadays, and a lot of people put them in their flower beds, which is probably what my friend is going to do with the other 2 good ones. But hey, you know, it's a free country. She can do what she wants. She won the bid after all. So I thought I would keep this one just for illustration's sake. You can still use them. By the way, the grit on these is pretty fine. I should have looked this up. It may be in the like 1,000 grit or something like that, but that's why it's so good for sharpening axes or getting a little bit finer bevel on it. And then after that, you could hone the axe or the scythe blade with an Arkansas stone or something much finer to get that final honing. But this really does a good job of shaping your bevels, and it's just all around good to have. If you didn't have one, I'd recommend you buying one. I've got several, so I could stand to have a cracked one. Hey, I wanted to mention that today's video is sponsored by me, and I've got some things you might be interested in. One of them is a book called Common Trees and Their Uses for the Small Farm or Homestead. Now, this is a book that takes more than 30 different types of trees that are pretty common throughout North America. And not only does it explain the different characteristics about that tree, like the grain and how easy it splits or doesn't split or whatever, but this book shows you what each specific species of tree is good for as it relates to the farm. Some trees make great fence posts. Some trees are good for making handles, like for a pitchfork or for a hammer or saw blade handles. And this book explains what tree is good for what. But not only is this a book that talks about the wood and its different characteristics and what it's good for, this book is also an identification guide that you could actually take out into the woods. It has a picture of each tree's leaf and the bark, so that you could even tell what tree is what in winter when there's no leaves at all. Common Trees and Their Uses for the Small Farm or Homestead. To buy the book, go to my website, farmhandscompanion.com, drill down to the general store page, and you can see all the books and different things I have available for sale. So go to farmhandscompanion.com. Oh, can you believe what I bought? I bought a bunch of lighters. Yeah, cigarette lighters. Now, I don't smoke cigarettes, but you know, lighters are very useful around the farm. I always carry one with me. I'm always either burning trash or starting a brush fire. It's always handy to have around. We roast weenies down at the river, so I pretty much always need to have a lighter with me. Now, looky there. There is a big mumbo jumbo right here. I don't know why it ain't closing, but I have to do a little work on that one. Oh, wait. No? Oh, here we go. I don't know. Boy, you catch your eyebrows on fire lighting that one. When good thing it doesn't have the flint in it. And hey, this one actually makes a nice visual display so that you can see what the parts of a lighter. They generally, a lot of the lighters have a soft fiber in here. I don't know what it's made of, but you can put your lighter fluid in, it holds the lighter fluid, soaks it up, stays wet, and you put this back in there. There would be a flint in there that when you turn the crank, it throws off a spark, and then the lighter fluid ignites and lights up the thing. So this is basically a big version of what all the little ones do, except the little ones normally close. I got some of the old desktop versions that you see on the old film noir movies, you know, back in the 30s and 40s. Here's one. These are collector's items now. A lot of collectors have them. This one is 1776. You know, that was, whoa. 1776. I was 8 years old. I remember the bicentennial back then. You know, we're fixing to have what, the 250th what do you call that, anniversary of our nation. So this was from almost 50 years ago. Oh, looky here, I'll have to show you these. I got the old donkey and the elephant. You know what those are, represent the Republicans, Democrat Party. I actually bid on this one and didn't even try to get this one. Got this one, and then later on this one was cheap. Nobody wanted it. I wonder why. Here's one with a bass catching a lure there. Oh, this one has a little tied fly in there. You see that? Here's the old gun lighter. Pull the thing and out comes the flame of fire. I got an Arkansas Razorbacks, and then a few. There's the old camel, and another embossed metal camel. A few dainty ones for the lady folk. An old camera, look at that, camera cigarette lighter. And I thought this one was, somebody's gonna want that one. That's the old Line gasoline symbol, Line gas stations. And everyone needs their complimentary Roto-Rooter cigarette lighter. But this one probably was my favorite. This one was, I think, the first one I bid on. Chesterfield cigarettes, an old brand of cigarettes that aren't around anymore, but you see them talked about in old TV shows and movies. And they would actually advertise, I'm trying to remember, on the old radio programs. I'm drawing a blank right now. Some of the old shows, you'll hear them talk about Chesterfield cigarettes. Look here. Uncle Sam wants you for a U.S. Army nearest recruiting station. You know, there's a lot of replicas. This might be one of them. I don't know. It's not metal and it's not new looking at all. If it's a reproduction, it was done in the 70s. But it's cardboard and it looks like it's got age to it. So could this be the real thing? Uncle Sam wants you? It might be. I don't know. Somebody thought enough of it to put it in a frame, so I don't know. We'll have to check that out.
Yes, it's the Perry Como Show. All the top tunes on TV and radio. Brought to you by Chesterfield.
The quality is high in every Chesterfield you buy. The nicotine is low and we can show the